Good morning, everybody. Kathy here. Today is January 3rd. It's a Thursday. I'm still in Reading. I'm actually at the all-wheel truck and RV repair place who's fixing my battery situation in the Jeep. So I'm not sure how clear I made the last information because I was driving and it was really loud. But the problem with the Jeep was there's a braking system I had installed in the Jeep. And so every time I brake in the motorhome, it brakes the Jeep, right? Well, that uses the battery power. And I think my battery was already getting a little bit problematic. There's some corrosion and stuff that I ended up cleaning with Coca-Cola. There was a lot of corrosion. You could see all that blue, green, white crap everywhere. So my friend, who I'm now naming my private concierge, he called around and first I talked to my daughter-in-law's dad, and who lives in Washington, who pulls a Jeep Liberty behind him in his motorhome, and talked to him, and he said the same thing happened to him, so this is what he had to do. And he happened to be in California when it all went down too. So he told me to find a place who specializes in electrical type stuff. And so my concierge did that. He called around to find a place, and he told them the story, because I was driving and I was trying to make Reading before dark, which, by the way, I didn't. But he called around to see if he could find a place and get me an appointment for today. And so he called one place that was only about 20 miles from where I was going to be camping, and they recommended this place, the all-wheel place, which ended up only being 9 miles or 9 minutes or something from where I was camped, which was great. And so I'm here now. What's going to happen is they're going to put like a trickle charge from my motorhome into the Jeep's battery. So every time I'm driving the motorhome, the Jeep battery will still be getting a charge. So that should be all handled. Again, you know, it's going to be probably, if I have to get a battery, which is possible, I'm not sure, but it's you know, like 4 hours of labor, or maybe 3, but about 3 to 4 hours of labor. And as long as I didn't take the key out or put the vehicle in park, even though the battery was dead, I still could pull the Jeep no problem. Although I did not have any lights on the Jeep except for the tail lights and the brake lights and the blinker lights, which was fine because that's all anybody sees. And like I said, I was driving last night, which really had me concerned. I know I don't need any headlights or anything, but I was worried all the while that maybe those lights would stop working too. So just to be someplace safe before dark was my goal. I don't like driving in the dark anyway. So that's an update with my rig. I should be back on the road tomorrow morning from Reading. I'm heading towards, I can't remember the town. It doesn't matter, but I'm heading south, that's for sure. I heard some nasty rumors about the government closing. Well, I know the government closed down, basically. I haven't heard anything new if everything's back open, but it's affecting BLM lands and such. And I had intended to stay at Joshua Tree for 2 or 3 nights. Well, I found out that they might be closed because of an accident, and that because there's so many people who go to Joshua Tree, especially this time of year, that they just decided just to close it because the bathrooms are not getting clean and they're getting filled up and clogged up, and the accident caused a big mess to clean up, and there's no rangers to help investigate it or clean up. It was like a semi-accident or something on the road there in front of Joshua Tree. And by the way, I heard this via a friend of mine who listens to NPR radio, which I should totally tune into while I'm driving instead of just listening to my favorite CDs. But give me some, you know, education there. And leaving it again, that's tomorrow. Sorry, long pause, and a car went by, and I'm parked in the company's parking lot for now until they're ready for this rig. RTR Bound, right? This morning, I think I showed you all, I make a keto coffee or a bulletproof coffee, and I use heavy cream and coconut oil and collagen granules, etc. Well, when I was getting ready this morning, I set it up above me here and went about my business and closed down the motorhome and everything so I could travel, and I left it up there. So naturally it fell, and it was almost a whole cup of coffee, so I had to make a second cup, plus I had to clean up a big mess, and I'm not even sure I got the whole mess. And then Riggs here, my baby, he jumped off the sofa and he slipped and he fell, sort of, and he's got that ACL injury in the back, and he is already limping around a little bit because he'd been playing football with my grandson and my grandsons, I guess, and having a good time. And I kind of have a couple of adopted grandsons too, so just FYI. Not legally or anything, but they're in my family and they call me grandma. So that's that's why. And I buy them Christmas presents, so that's why. So kind of a designated grandma. Can't have enough grandmas, I think, right? Anyway, so had to clean up that mess, so I had to make another cup this morning while I was here at the in this parking lot. Well, that's it for now. I appreciate you all watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.